Hey everyone, welcome to Code Crackers. Today we're going to talk about the Pigpen Cipher. And what I have here is the exact same message but written two different ways. It's a different combination of the Pigpen Cipher. And the cool thing about the Pigpen Cipher is actually it is pretty old. It's also known as the Freemason cipher or the Knights Templar cipher or the tic-tac-toe cipher because it's written or decoded using a tic-tac-toe-like grid. So the first way we're going to learn to write the Pigpen cipher is the simplest and easiest way. It's a great way to start, as always. And you draw two tic-tac-toe grids. And if you count each of the spaces in the tic-tac-toe, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So with these two, we only have 18, but we need 26. So we add these X grids like that. Right. So now we have 26 spaces, and that's where we write in our letters. And we start from the left, work our way across, and drop down. Okay, and this cipher goes back hundreds of years, actually. I'm going to make sure I don't lose my spot. And we're going to go around kind of the way the clocks or hands will go around the face of a clock. S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so you want to write out your letters to look like this. And then, because we have two of each, we're going to add dots into the second grid of both styles. And I'm putting my dot, I don't want to put my dot there. I'll put my dot here. Pretend that's not there. And the center dot goes there. So the dot goes closest to the center square that it can. So you're going to put it in your corners or the middle of your square. And then this also gets a dot right there in each of the corners. The cool thing about the Pigpen cipher, it can even be traced to the Civil War, where Union soldiers used it in Confederate prison camps. But it goes back even farther than that. The Freemason Society, which is an old secret society, used it. And then it can maybe even be traced back to the Knights Templar during the Crusades. But the cool thing about it is it's pretty easy to learn, and once you get the hang of it, you can kind of memorize it and then write it really simply. And then if you're writing to somebody, or even if maybe you're just writing notes yourself, you can decode it pretty quickly. But if you want to make it a little bit harder, I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But if we want to write out a message using this basic idea, we could say the world is round, and that's just a nonsense phrase for the purpose of writing in code. So we would find the T, and that is right here. And then to write the Pigpen code, you just write the walls of the square that it is in, or not the square, it kind of depends on which grid it's in, but you just write the walls that surround it. So you do want to be careful that you are making sure to write it carefully because you have a couple different angles going on. H is here, so we write it like that. And then E is right in the middle, so you write a square. W is down here, so we write it, and that's where the dots come in because it's the second grid. And so you're basically just drawing where the letter sits on your grid, and you just leave the letter out. So O, R, L, D, the R is here. L is up here, so we draw a side and a bottom. Oh, I gotta fit my D in here, squeeze in the letter, and I S, since it's in the first grid, there's no dot. R, O, U goes this way, and N is in the center, so it goes all the way, and we put the dot right in the center of that square, and we need one more D, which is this way. Okay, and that's how you write the world is round. And then this top message is written using that method. So in order to decode it, we would look at this and find where the corresponding letter is. So that would be D, E, E, and then because that would be here, T, and then M, E, A, T, T, H, E, and we have L, I, B, R, A, R, Y. And, oh, see, I made a mistake. And because I didn't put the dot in here, that came out as a D. It should have a dot right here. That way I know it's in this second grid. It's an M, so it should be M-E-E-T, meet me at the library. So the second way, if you want to make this a little bit harder, we mix up our tic-tac-toe or grid system just a little bit. So we do our first tic-tac-toe, and then we do the X grid, then tic-tac-toe, then X. And you want to be careful as you're writing out your letters, but you do it in pretty much the same way as before. So your first 9 letters are going to be the same symbols, because it's exactly the same as this. But when you get to J, you put it into the X grid here. J, K, L, M. So that kind of changes things up. And we start with N, O, P. You want to be really careful as you're writing this out that you don't write your letters out wrong, because then it'll be really hard for whoever's receiving your message to crack it. Okay. So, and if we want to write the world is round using this method, let's not forget our dots. They go in the second grid, same way. So the world is round will look a little bit different, but some of the letters will look exactly the same. But our T is going to look different. T, H, E. Our H is here. E is still in the middle, so it's a square. W is in the X grid. O, R, L, D, I, S. And then we need an R. Oh, I should put a better space there, but I didn't. U. A lot of dots in this one. Okay, there we go. So we can compare the two, and they have some similarities, but it's going to be a little bit different to crack. So our W's are actually the same, but these middle letters are different, except for your D is the same. So round is even, looks pretty different. So if you use the second method, it's going to be a little bit trickier to crack if someone is only familiar with the first way to write Pigpen. And there's a couple different ways to round this up. So I wrote meet me at the library two different ways, and you can kind of see the difference between them. So that's it for today, guys. Have a crack at writing the Pigpen Cipher. See how it goes. See how quickly you can memorize it and write out little messages. Okay? Happy cracking. Bye.